Concrete Heads, Owen Blevins, ConcreteAnswers.tv, bringing you the internet's most passionate show about concrete plants and equipment. Today, we've got Doug Ruhlin at the corporate headquarters of ConcreteAnswers.tv. Doug is an environmental consultant with Resource Management Associates. Of course, you've seen him at several state associations where he's been a speaker, RMA. He'll be speaking in 2011 at ConExpo ConAg. He's published in In Focus magazine. He's all over the place. He's an advocate for the environment and water in our industry, of course, which is concrete and aggregates. So getting right to it, Doug, I want to talk to you a little bit about why management of return concrete is so important to today's producer.
That's a great question, Owen. You know, return concrete, big problem at the ready-mix plant. Everybody's got it, and it can really affect the overall environmental program at a concrete plant. There's rules and regulations that deal with and require the effective management, from everything from your stormwater discharge permit that requires best management practices to deal with this material. There's regulations that deal with process water, which would be the water that you might generate in washing this material out of the back of a mixer, for example.
Right.
There could be solid waste regulations. There could even be hazardous waste regulations if the material was very much mismanaged or mishandled. So there's a lot of regulations out there that affect it. It fits in with the overall environmental program at a plant. Very, very important at the plant.
Talk to me, if you would, a little bit about the available solutions for producers today.
Okay, there are a variety of options that are available to deal with the return concrete problem at a plant. Some are better than others, depending upon the specific facility, and they range. You know, a couple that I would point out. They range from everything from making blocks, very common. Most producers make blocks. Sometimes they sell them. They get a decent return on investment. Deals with the problem in a very, very nice way. Hardened concrete recycling is fairly common as well. Producer brings back the excess concrete, pours it on the ground, ribbons it out, busts it up, and makes recycled concrete aggregate, which can be very lucrative in some markets, can be a great solution to the problem. And then you have concrete reclaimers, and concrete reclaimers can be a very effective tool to dealing with returned concrete. They recover the aggregate out of the returned concrete, and thereby provide a lot of value on that, you know, by recovering that aggregate.
Okay, and as we've discussed before, I mean, reclaimers aren't for everybody, but give me an example of how a reclaimer can fit into a producer's operation.
Okay, in the right setting, a reclaimer can pay a lot of benefits. Can really be an effective tool at dealing with this and other environmental problems out at the plant. Unlike most of the other solutions that I mentioned, a concrete reclaimer is just about the only of the solutions that can really deal effectively with not only the returned concrete problem by minimizing the volume, by effectively dealing with it, by recovering the aggregate out, providing the value there, but it can also deal with process water out at the plant and really be an effective tool at dealing with process water management out there. It can reduce the amount of process water. It can give you an effective way of managing process water, finding a home for the process water out there. And I think one of the other additional benefits that a reclaimer can pay is that in the right setting, in the right application, it can also very effectively deal with the concrete fines that are generated as part of this process. The muck, as you say, out there.
Okay, sure.
Can give you a way of managing that and disposing of that, and you know that that's a very, very big problem at most ready-mix plants. So it's one of the few of the options we talked about that really gives you a really integrated, holistic solution to the problem in the right setting.
Good. Well, Doug, as always, really appreciate your insight into a pretty complex subject here. So listen, what I'd recommend with you guys, Concrete Heads, take a look at ConcreteAnswers.tv. Get back to us with some questions, thoughts, comments. Thanks to our sponsor, Mid-Atlantic Concrete Equipment, maconcrete.com. They've got some great resources as well for you. I'm going to put Doug's website below, Resource Management Associates, so you guys can check his site out. He's a great resource, and please use him. Again, until next time, we'll talk to you later.